Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by the movie Hangout. Wow, my face is really red. Anyways, so this video right now is about the new Star Wars series that Disney is developing right now. And when you read about who's developing it, who's the showrunner, along with what the storyline is going to be about, Disney is just never going to learn from their past failures. They're just going to keep barreling on forward and forward, losing more and more money. Pretty much all of the new Star Wars stuff, with the exception of The Mandalorian, which has been done by Jon Favreau, all the new stuff, excluding The Mandalorian, has lost money. It hasn't made any money at all. At best, it's broken even. Number one, because it costs a lot of money to shoot Star Wars. A lot of this stuff is on like alien sets, so you can't film it like in downtown LA. So the sets have to be original. All the costumes have to be original. You can't be like walking around with like a Coca-Cola jacket on or something. And there has to be heavy makeup because most of the people in the series are not human beings. So you can't have everybody being CGI. Otherwise, it looks horrible like the Phantom Menace. So that's one reason why it costs so much. Another reason why is because Disney doesn't know how to tell stories anymore without using what is called identity politics. And you've probably have heard of this. If you haven't, basically what that is identity politics is dividing people up based on their race, their gender. Now they even add new things like sexuality, religion, your whether you're documented, non-documented. They're coming up, they're making up out of thin air new ways to divide people. And then what they're doing is they're telling stories based on each individual little tribe they just created. Well, what happens is when you do that, everybody else becomes excluded because identity politics to its core is based on dividing people, division based on identity. And what made the original Star Wars really, really good, and what even made, the prequels weren't great, but at least, they were watchable. They weren't ridiculous. And the reason why they were good is because it was about, it's kind of like a fantasy sci-fi film, with space ninjas basically with lightsabers rather than katana swords. But how human beings behave and treat each other is grounded in reality. You didn't have like a girl that's 10 years old punching out a 220-pound bodybuilder, hulking male alien or something ridiculous like that. You didn't have like a 90-year-old man doing 20 backflips and beating up 10 guys, right? Like it was fantasy, but it was still grounded in some sense of reality. Well, Disney just doesn't know how to do that anymore. And then plus, when they go to do characters, especially men in the new Star Wars are extremely weak. They're weak-minded, they're weak physically, even if they're bigger than all the female characters. They have no courage. They're very cowardly. They're very unsure of themselves. They always are looking for someone else to tell them what to do. And in many ways, they're very subservient. And I know there are some guys like that, but most men are not that way. And how they make women basically without a hero's journey. And the hero's journey is you start out with a problem and you don't have an ability to overcome that problem, and then throughout the hero's journey you encounter people to help you learn how to develop a new skill or talent in order to eventually defeat that problem. Well, all the new female characters are basically called Mary Sues. Mary Sues are female characters, are women that already have everything figured out. They already have all the powers, all the ability. They can fight better than anybody from the very beginning of the movie. And for some reason they have like self-doubt and they just don't know they can do everything perfectly, and then they just have to acknowledge they're already perfect and then they overcome everything. Well, I'm sorry, that's just not real life. If you look at the original Star Wars, Princess Leia goes on a hero's journey. She learns to actually be a better leader because she wasn't a very good leader in the beginning, because she was all stuck into being a princess and telling people what to do rather than taking charge and learning how to take charge, and then also learning to trust people. She ended up falling in love with Han Solo, and Han Solo went on a hero's journey throughout the whole movie. He wasn't perfect from the very beginning either. And it's just like Disney has amnesia. They get hit in the head, they have amnesia, they don't know how to tell a story, and now it's continuing. So let me get to this, the Hollywood Reporter article here. I mean, just look at this picture. I know you don't have to smile in every picture, but this pretty much sums up what this Star Wars is going to look like, the look from this lady. So, Star Wars series in the works at Disney from Russian Doll co creator. Leslie Headland will write and act as showrunner for the project. So basically, she's going to be in total control of this thing. A showrunner is like God when it comes to television or even a streaming series, which is said to have a female centric point of view on the galaxy far, far away. Now, look, there's nothing wrong with having female leads. There's a lot of movies with female leads. The entire Alien franchise, at least all the ones that are any good, have Sigourney Weaver as the lead. She's a great character. Um, the Terminator 1 and 2, there's a female lead, Linda Hamilton. Those are really, really good movies, those two movies. They're realistic. She's a tough lady, but she doesn't start out being like this amazing warrior in the beginning. She starts out as a waitress and she ends with being basically like a special forces military mom who's going to train her son John Connor. Unfortunately, what this is going to be, and based on the previous content and interviews from Leslie Headland, is that this is going to be a series with almost all female characters, and the male characters are going to be kind of like blurry in the background. They're going to come in and out, and they're really not going to contribute too much, which is basically what the final three installments of Star Wars was. Headland will write and act as showrunner, which is a female-centric point of view in the galaxy far, far away. The deal was actually concluded several months ago, and Headland even attended the LA premiere of The Rise of Skywalker, which The Rise of Skywalker was a total disaster. If you remember, they had to spend tens of millions of dollars doing reshoots of that movie because it was so bad. The test screening was a disaster. People were laughing hysterically because it was so stupid. And this lady obviously hasn't learned anything at all. It goes on. The new Star Wars series is one of multiple projects in the works at Disney Plus, which has season 2 of The Mandalorian, that's good. It's got season 2 prime for an October release, and one prequel series as well, a show starring Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I have some hope for this Obi-Wan Kenobi series, but the bar is very, very low with it, because just go on this lady's Twitter, check out what she's all about, look at her bio, you're going to know exactly what I'm saying. It's not going to be Star Wars as we know it. It's going to be some really bad imitation filled with super left-wing identity politics, which is extremely divisive. If you want to tell a story and you want people all over the world to be able to identify with the character, the key thing to do is stop reminding everybody in the world that they don't look like and are not like that character. Instead, use that character as just kind of like a doorway or a gate through a common experience that we all go through. I mean, that's what all great stories really are, regardless if they are about men or women. But anyway, that's my rant on that. Let me know what you think. Do you think this is going to be a good series? Or do you think this is just going to be basically what just kind of what this lady looks like right here. Like, I got a feeling I can almost predict with Jedi accuracy what this is going to be. Let me know what you think. Is it going to be any good? Is it going to be a total dumpster fire? Is Disney going to lose another $100 million on this? Comment below, like, subscribe, and subscribe also if you want to get future rants, reviews, or original content. Thanks for watching.